In this nitty-gritty basics Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing American Mah Jongg at I Love Mahj. I Love Mahj is a great place to play, especially if you're a beginner or if you're an intermediate player on the fast track to improving your game, because they have an exercise room. Even experienced players appreciate that exercise room, and playing with robots with varying degrees of intelligence. If you want to give it a try, look for my email in the video description below, and I can send you information about their trial. Or you can use MAHJLIFE as the promo code, and that way you can get an extra week free. I am an affiliate there, so I will get a small commission if you decide to do a paid subscription. In today's topic, we're going to spend a little time in that room, and then we're going to play with robots, and our topic is what I like to call a jump start. And this particular jump start is called KISS. And I'll explain what that means when we get into the very short presentation. I just want to say thank you so much for being here, for watching my videos, and for sharing about MAHJLIFE. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. I'll go ahead and share my screen and we're going to get started, and then we'll dig into the nitty gritty. Speaking of which, moderators, thank you for helping monitor the chat today. The format is nitty gritty, which means no socialization, so that we can dig in deep. So I'm going to share my screen now and we'll get started. So here we go. Jump start, KISS, KISS. The jump start, if you think about, really most people think about vehicles with a jump start. It's to restart rapidly, to impart a fresh or renewed energy. You know, when you jump start a vehicle, for example. In Mahjong, you can use that concept, jump start. So whether you already know how to play the game or whether you're brand new to the game and you just need a little bit of help getting started, there are some techniques that you can use to ease that feeling of overwhelm, and this is one of them. Know that, especially with American Mah Jongg in particular, it's a complex game, and it takes a while to learn how to read the card and how to look at your dealt tiles and figure out what direction to go in with those tiles and how to connect it to something that would be playable on the card. Everything is hard before it is easy. Everything is hard before it is easy. So just remember that. If you're frustrated or overwhelmed, just know that you're experiencing something very normal. Everybody goes through it. Everybody starts in the same place. And it's a challenge, which is why we love the game. So remember that you are a smart cookie. You are smart. You have the smarts to master the game. It just may take some time. American Mah Jongg is complex. It's actually, I think, one of the hardest versions to learn. But once you learn the fundamentals and some basic strategies, you can be on your way to playing the game more comfortably. So give yourself time. You're going to need to use critical thinking, situational awareness, and social acuity. This is not like any normal card game, for example, rummy, or even sometimes I jokingly say go fish. It is a complex game. You've got to use your critical thinking skills, using social awareness, what happens at the table with your opponents and the tiles that are visible, and also tells from your opponents can also help. So that awareness and social acuity can help you master the game as well. There are a lot of rules to learn. You got to focus on the fundamentals first, basically how to set up a game, how to deal the tiles, how to do the Charleston, and then the rules around picking and discarding, claiming discards, doing joker exchanges. Also, you'll need to learn what to do when things like mahjong and error happen, or when two people want the same discard. Those are some of the most commonly asked questions on rules, but there are many more. You got to learn those over time. And typically you're kind of on a need to know basis. When something crops up, then you'll figure it out, because it'll be impossible for any instructor to teach you all the rules in 1 or 2 lessons. There are just too many. Incidentally, I just want to mention that I have a wiki on my website that you can query. It's free and on demand. All the rules of the game are in there. Also, there's some strategy in there too. So use the wiki to help you learn the rules of the game, but also build your skills and expand your strategies. Let me pull up, hold on one second. Okay, so learn as you go. That's why I mentioned the wiki. Everybody learns differently. So when you learn this game, you're going to be in a room with other people probably, unless you're taking a private lesson, but everyone has different learning styles. So some people learn quicker when they're in a classroom setting, but some people learn when they are reading a book or when they are watching a video or when they play the game themselves online. Everyone learns a little bit differently, and anytime that you use multiple methods of learning, the shorter your learning curve. Also, teaching styles differ. So if you've taken a lesson from an instructor and you're still left being confused at the game, maybe try taking a lesson with another instructor, because everybody teaches a little bit differently. Maybe your personalities didn't quite gel and her teaching didn't get through for whatever reason. Try taking a lesson from somebody else, and that might work. So think about those things. Everybody learns differently, and also everybody teaches differently. So that can impact learning. When you first look at this card, it's a little bit overwhelming, and everybody feels that way when they first get this card. You've got to learn how to cipher it. So deconstructing the complexity of this game, it takes time, but you can simplify the process by using KISS. Focus on one suit. Keep it simple with suits. Simplify. So for example, you could simplify with these tiles by focusing just on the dots. All you would need to do is let the other suits go until you have only dots. And then you would look at where the multiples are, because American Mah Jongg is a game of multiples. And then you would find a category that would use the multiples in one suit. And the one suit options are really easy to spot on the card because they're all in one color. So you can play with this method on a short-term basis. And we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. But in this case, if you were to use the KISS method, you would play dots. And we have a 2-dot pair in here, so probably consecutive run would be the category, 2, 3, 4, 5 of some kind. And then you would discard the bams and the cracks. So during the Charleston, you focus on the predominant suit, and then that will allow you to quickly identify your discards. Now, in this case, we've got an equal number of bams and cracks. So you would just pick one or the other. Usually, if you have an opportunity to play a consecutive run hand, that would be an easier category to focus on because it's much more flexible than, for example, odds. So if I were to look at these tiles, I would focus on 1, 2, 3, the bams. I would pick 1, 2, 3, and then discard as safely as I can with the rest of the tiles. So during the Charleston, you focus on that predominant suit, identify the discards. If there are 2 suits, choose the suit with sequences. When a multiple forms, focus on the suit with the multiple. So in this case, we have 4s and 6s. Those could be used with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we would break up the 9 and pass the 5 crack and the 6 dot. So we would focus on bams. If an 8 bam comes in, you might be able to even play 2, 4, 6, 8. So here's another example. We have 1, 2, 4 in cracks, 4, 7, 8 in cracks, wait, 1, 2, 4 in BAMs, 4, 7, 8 in cracks, 3, 7, 9 in dots, and then an east and a west. So there's an equal number and 2 consecutive numbers in each suit with BAMs and cracks. So you could keep all of those to see which one comes in, which suit comes in, and discard maybe east and west with a 9, or maybe you could do even a 3, 9, and only 1 wind, because east and west together would be a pretty risky pass. So here's another example. You have a pair with 3 crack. So that's the suit I would focus on, cracks. But you could break up the 8 BAM, the 2 BAM, and then pass a south and still keep both suits to see which one comes in. So here's another one with an equal number of cracks and dots, and they both have consecutive numbers. One has a pair though, so choose that. Choose the suit with a pair or a multiple if you happen to have a pung in there. Don't kiss too long. This is a temporary method to get you through that feeling of being overwhelmed. So in phase 1, play 1 suit hands. So, and we're going to practice this in Charleston modeling, and then we'll play with robots and I'll demonstrate how to do this. So phase 1 would be playing all in 1 suit. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to break, and I'm going to play a game or do Charleston modeling, and then we're going to come back to phase 2 so I can show you how I would progress to then playing the full card. Does anybody have any questions about KISS? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. So here's I Love Mahj, and we're going to scroll down. This is after you click on Play Game Launchpad, and then you play with robots in this top section and scroll down, and this is where the exercise room is. There's lots of exercises here, but we're going to focus on Charleston practice. So visit this site and this exercise room and try all of these because they're all very helpful. We're going to focus on Charleston practice, and we're going to play 1 suit. And I just want to show you that even though you're limiting yourself to a 1 suit hand, you can still win because there are a lot of choices. And a lot of times the 1 suit hands are simpler. They're typically 25-point hands. So you can build those hands fairly quickly. Let's do. So here we have an interesting situation similar to in the presentation with a couple of those examples. We have 3 BAMs and 3 dots, but the dots are consecutive. So we're going to play 6, 7, 8. That way we can leverage the run. And we do have tiles we can pass with and still keep the BAMs. This 1, 4 in 1 suit is a little bit risky. We could maybe keep that 4 and pass a dragon, because with 6, 7, 8 and a pair of flowers, we're not going to be able to use the dragon. And here's a dot. So we're just going to keep every dot. Now, wait. We have more now with BAMs. So I would, and we have 7, 8, 9. So now I would switch to BAMs because we have more to work with. So we're going to do probably 7, 8, 9, but we could still keep 6, 7, 8 because we can use dots or BAMs. So let's just continue because we've got options here. Oh my gosh. Thank you. It's because I shared my, hold on. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted because you'll have to bear with me today because I've got poison ivy. See my neck right here? I don't know if you could see that because I covered up with makeup, but I have poison ivy all over my face and neck, under my chin. And so I'm a little bit distracted. So bear with me, and hopefully we'll get through this. So anyway, let me get back to the game. Okay, let's see. Hopefully I can get, oh, here we go. We'll do this one. Okay. How's that? So sorry. Okay. Well, we've been suffering for a few days now. My husband has it too. Okay, so now I apologize. Here we go. So here are the tiles. So we have, you know what? I guess we can keep going. So you can see we're focused on dots and bams. We have more bams than we do dots. Both of them have some consecutive run. So we're just going to play this through and see which one comes in. And all we care about is one suit. We're not even going to look at the card. Here's a dot, but we still have more bams and we have tiles to pass. So we're just going to keep going. And now here, see, we have a pair of flowers. So we want to try to use that. We won't be able to use the dragon with a pair of flowers and bams. So we're just going to keep going. Although, hold on, we could play 5, 7, 9 dragon, actually. The third hand down under consecutive run. I, at this point, would let probably the 6 go. So let's keep the dragon now. So we could do 5, 7, 9 dragon. There's a 6, and we still have tiles we can pass. So we only looked at the card one time since we've gotten our tiles. And that's one of the beauties of simplifying. All you're focused on is gathering one suit. So now we are at the place where we're going to do an optional across. We have 2, 2, 3. I would not pass 2 2s. I might pass a 2 dot with a 3, but we need to look at our hand at this point and figure out if we can pass 3 tiles. We could do 3, 6, 9. We wouldn't need the dragon. 3, 6, 9 with flowers in one suit would be the third hand down. Third hand down. We could also do the third hand down under consecutive run. 5, 6, 7 or 3, 6, 9. Since we have a pair of flowers and a pair of 6 bams, I would let this dragon go and then pass 3, 2, 3 green. And so we ended up with 4 discards and a couple of hands with no gaps. We could do 3, 6, 9 under 3, 6, 9 third hand down, or we could do 5, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8 flowers third hand down. So we're in between categories, but we've got 2 hands, both with no gaps, and 4 discards. So even though you're limiting yourself to one suit, you still have lots of options, and you focus on just gathering that one suit. So now we're gonna do new tiles so you can see from the beginning this time. All right, so here we have dragons, 2 dragons, and we're gonna focus on one suit. So I'm gonna break those up, and we're gonna, for the sake of the exercise, we're going to gather suited tiles. So let's see, we have a pair of 3s and a pair of 2s. So I would probably keep the 2 and then maybe the red dragon, because there are some one suit. Actually, for this exercise, we're doing one suit. So let's stick with one suit, because we're going to talk about phase 2 in a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and break up the dragons for the sake of the exercise. Let's see. I think let's break out a number tile so that we have good tiles to pass in the next pass. So we're looking for either bams or cracks or dots. And right now we don't have them, and we're looking for little numbers too, because that's where our pairs are. So we're going to break up that dragon, and then we'll pass, let's say here's a 9 bam. So now there's a 6, 9. So let's keep that. Let's see here. No dragon, no dragon. 1, and then maybe the 9 would be better. something like that. So now we have 2 BAMs with a pair. We have a 2 crack pair and a 3 dot pair. We're going to focus on suits. So here's a 3, 3, 6, 9. Might as well keep the 1 at this point. Let's break up the dragon past the 8. Since we have mostly BAMs, that's what we're going to focus on, BAMs. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Let's break up the 3 and the red and the south. We've got a BAM, and we'll then discard, let's say, the dragon, a 9 with, let's say, a 2. That's a good pass right there. Okay, no BAMs this time. Let's pass an 8 with a 3 and a 1. And there's another BAM. And we really don't care what number it is. We're just going to hold all the BAMs, every BAM. We're going to hold every BAM. So we have one more pass. Let's do 1, 6 with a 3. Okay, no BAMs. So this time we have 5 discards, and we do have a pair we don't need. There's another tactic that we can use that hopefully I'll be able to explain a little bit later. And then we have BAMs. If this were my hand, I'd probably play a 3, 6, 9 hand. With 1 suit, that would mean the 3rd hand down. So I would look for opportunities to get a flower, whether I pick it from the wall or do it maybe a joker exchange, which maybe would be where this dragon comes in. So I'm going to go back to the presentation, because when you're playing kit with KISS, keeping it simple with a suit, you don't want to gather suits and play that way all the time. That's a temporary solution. What you want to do is play, let's see here, let me stop sharing, and we're going to go back to the presentation here. So once you gain confidence and you're more comfortable playing the game with 1 suit options, that's the first phase. The second phase is to add flowers to your choices. Add flowers. That would be phase 2. And then phase 3 would be adding dragons, because those are still considered 1 suit. So phase 1 is 1 suit. Phase 2 would be adding flowers. Phase 3 would be adding dragons. And that would help you slowly look for more complex hands on the card. So let's go ahead and go back to I Love Mahj, and we'll do one more Charleston modeling, and then we'll play with robots, and we'll play 1 suit hands with or without flowers and dragons, so that you can see how that can help you minimize that feeling of overwhelm and still play the game and enjoy it and gain confidence with hand development. Does anybody have any questions about that? Let's see here. I need to, okay, we're going to do files, and I'll share my screen. Okay, so here's another one, and we're gonna do 1 suit. So you quickly look at your hand and you can see right now we have mostly dots. So that's what we're gonna play, dots. And again, this is a temporary solution, and you don't wanna play this way all the time. This is just temporary while you gain confidence with hand development. It's a jump starter. Oh, thank you, Karen. Let me know how it goes. I think that it is a great way to gain that comfort level. So we're focused on 1 suit. So let's break up the pair so we don't pass any pairs. We don't want to get stuck passing pairs. And we also don't want to pass like numbers. So we're going to break those up too. Okay, so we're going to keep every dot. So let's break up the 1s. We'll give that to somebody else. We'll pass the north. And then we have a 1. So let's let a 7 go here. Okay, no dots. So we're going to, let's see, we gave them a north, I think, already. So let's pass an 8 with a 1 and then one of these 5s. We got a dot. So we're going to keep that. And we're not worried about what number it is or what category we're going to play, not until we run out of discards. Right now we have a lot of discards. And Riley wants to go outside. So I need to pause in a minute and I'll open the back door so he can go out. Otherwise he's going to bug us until I do something. So, okay, here we go. 4, 7. We've got 2, 3, 5, 7 in our hand. Here's a 3 and a 1. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. We still have tiles to pass. So we still don't have to look at the card. We're just going to continue to gather till we have all dots. So west, 8 with a 4. No dots, so we have tiles we can pass. Let's say 5, 9 red. Oh, sorry, let me do this layout. It's a little bigger. There's a 6, and we still have tiles to pass. All right, we ended up with 3 discards and lots of dots. We could play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. We have 2, 3, 5. We have a joker that could fill a gap for the 4, let's say. Play maybe the first hand, or we could potentially play the second hand from the bottom under consecutive run. That would be 6, 7, 7-1 under consecutive, no, 8 dash, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would use those multiples. Okay, so we're going to do this one more time. Let's see. Well, clearly we can play with BAMs. That's what we have most of. So we're going to hold all the BAMs until we run out of discards. And we're looking at 1 suit options. So we're going to break up the white, the 1, and the 7. We're looking for BAMs, maybe with a dragon. So let's keep it. It's corresponding, which is considered 1 suit. So now let's pass, let's say 1, 8 red. No BAMs in here, so we have tiles we can pass. This is going to be a little bit risky. 2, 8, probably better than passing a white dragon. There's a BAM, so we'll keep it. And we still have tiles to pass, so we still don't even need to look at the card. Still don't need to look at the card. We're just gathering BAMs. Okay, now there's a green dragon. And we could pass 2 white. That's a little bit risky, but we've got some tiles in here. 7, 8 dragon, maybe. We could maybe focus on that. That would be probably the 1, 2, 3, 5th hand down under consecutive run. I suppose we could maybe make that a little bit better by passing a 1 BAM here. Even the 3 BAM might be okay there. That would probably be better than a white dragon or a 1 BAM. 2, 3, 1. Maybe that would be better. Okay, so let's see if we can get another BAM. Nope. So we have 4 discards. This would probably be a discard too, but we would have, because we have a pair of 8 BAMs, I would probably focus on either the 3rd hand down under consecutive run or the dragon hand, 5th one down. Oh, we have an optional cross here. Okay, let's see if we can get another BAM. No. All right, so we've got discards there. Same result. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And I'm going to go ahead and switch to playing with robots now, so you can see the whole game being played out. And we're still going to play Kiss. We're going to play 1 suit with or without flowers. And we'll see if we can get in a win with limiting ourselves to 1 suit hands. And later, like maybe, let's say the last 2 games, we'll open it up to the entire card and play throughout. Because again, this is a temporary solution just until you gain confidence with hand development. Because the best way to play this game is to target multiples and play a category that uses most of your tiles supporting the multiple, and then you would choose a category for those tiles, and that would be whether or not it's one suit or mixed suit. So the last two hands will play as if we've graduated from phase 3 in this particular jumpstart. So we have cracks. That's what we're gathering, cracks. So we're going to pass the east. We have like numbers with 6s, so we're going to let one of those go right now, and then we'll let bam go. Actually, since we have a 2, 4, 6 left in our hand, let's pass a 2, and that way we have an odd number in here with a 6 and a 4. And up on top with our pass, we have east 2, 6, which is not too bad. Okay, so we're looking for cracks, and we got one, so we're going to keep it. And now let's see, we could do a little number, a big number, and a middle number. We're looking for cracks. So let's pass 9, bam, with a 1 and a 6. Although that's going to leave us with 8s in our hand, I would rather break that up. So in case we get everything we want, we're not left with like numbers for our next pass. So if you can, try to think a pass ahead. We're going to keep going. We didn't get any keepers with that one. Okay, there's a couple. We got a 3 and a 9, and we have tiles we can pass. So we still don't have to look at the card. Here's a dragon. We may be able to use that. And I would go ahead and, that's a little bit risky actually. 6, 9 dragon, because there are 2 offsuit dragon hands in 3, 6, 9. I don't think I would pass that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Most of our tiles are little, so I would probably let the 9 go and then pass 6, 9 dragon. It's still a little bit risky, but I think we mitigate the risk a little bit here. We might even be able to do it. We do have some 2, 4, 6, 8 in there also. That would be the third hand down under evens. So we could play third hand down under evens, the first hand under evens. We could play both of the 1 suit hands, or there's 3 1 suit hands we could play under consecutive run. Third hand down, fifth hand down, and the second hand from the bottom. So we have lots of options. I think we should go ahead and pass these. Okay, so no keepers. We can pass just fine right there. All right, no keepers. We've got several hands we could play. I'll use this joker to separate our keepers. We have 4 discards, but we don't quite know what hand we're playing yet. So let's just see how this goes. So now we're actually playing the game, and we're focusing on cracks. We're playing that KISS method to minimize that feeling of overwhelm. Okay, now would we call that? I don't think so, because we don't really know what hand we're playing yet. Even though we do have a hand with no gaps, if we were to call that, we would need to decide, do we want to call that for a Kong or a Pung? Later, we could potentially call it for a Pung or even a Kong with jokers. If we were to call, we could maybe do this third hand down, or maybe the second hand from the bottom. I would probably wait until a multiple forms before I call, because we do have options. I would wait just a little bit, see if we can get a multiple in here to help us with a little bit of strength before we start to commit, because every exposure you make commits you to a limited number of hands. All right, so we're going to let that go because we're focused on 1 suit with or without corresponding dragons. Still looking for cracks. Now there's only one hand we could play if we called that red, and it would use both of our, or I'm sorry, one hand under consecutive run and one hand under evens. I suppose we could call it, because we do have the tiles we need for two hands, but it would use both of our jokers, and I would rather not do that. I think we have plenty of options without the dragon. So then I would probably let that go. Okay, so we're looking for a multiple in here somewhere. We're good there. Okay, so that's one of our tiles that we might be able, we might have been able to use it. So I would be more likely to focus on consecutive run, because if we played the first hand under evens, for example, we would need to dedicate a joker to that. So if we played the dragon hand, we would need to dedicate a joker to the dragon, and we could still maybe pung that. So we still have options, and we have a couple of jokers we could use. I would rather wait until we have a multiple in here before we commit to a hand. That's a pure pung. Because that is a pure pung here, 5 crack, and we have it, I would let that go. And I would focus on either 2, 4, 6, 8 or 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're kind of narrowing it down a little bit based on what's happening at the table. That 5 crack pung pointed to this 5 crack being a discard. Still no keeper. Okay, there goes another 8 crack. This is where I would either dig in to evens and commit and call, or focus on 1, 2, 3, 4. I would rather wait and hold my jokers and let it go. So that's the second 8 crack. We're going to ignore it. By ignoring that, that means that we are not going to be playing a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. With a pung of 5s out, that means we really don't need that 6 crack either. So I would hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we could use the dragon with jokers, but also there's something else I want you to notice. The player on our right, they have 5 crack, 6.7 Kongs. There's only one hand they could be playing, and that is the second hand from the bottom on the right under consecutive run. 4, 5 crack, 6.7. This 4 crack is going to be very risky to discard. So either we discard it now and potentially give them Mahjong, or we try to find a way to use it. And I would rather the latter. So I would try to find a way to use that 4 crack so that I don't discard it to someone who has 3 exposures. And the timing, it's a little bit of a complex strategy because it's all about timing. We're in the middle of the game. Anytime someone has 3 exposures, any discard that would fit their hand would come with a really high impact, because we know, everybody knows at the table what tile they need. And if you discard that and you give them Mahjong, that is not advisable. We would want to either use it and try to win with it, or fold and just block. So we're gonna, instead of discarding the 4, the evens, maybe even, we could maybe play 2, 4, 6, 8 and then use the 4 so that we don't discard it. We're gonna, let's see, we could do even a hand of least resistance, for example, with either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 4, 6, 8. Since all the 8s are out, well, not all of them, but we have 1 here, 8 crack right there. Here's the second one. We would have to dedicate 2 jokers. So probably what I would do is focus on 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, second hand from the bottom, or switch to defense. This is a little bit of a complicated scenario, which is good that it comes up because then you can think it through together with me. 8, 3. No, we don't want wins. That was just discarded. This, we're at 48 tiles left. We might need to start thinking about holding safe discards in our hand. Nobody wants the 8 crack. Nobody's going to want that 5 crack because it's already out. Let's see here. The 6 bam has not been seen yet. 6 crack, not seen yet. 5 dot is out. So these 3 tiles here, 8 crack, 5 dot, those should be safe. The 6s we need to let go of. Okay, let's see. Green dragon is out. I try not to hold on to dragons. So that'll be good and safe for later. We're good. There's a joker. Okay, so let's let the 6 go. Question about decision between 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2, 4, 6, 8. Should the fact that we need 4 4s for 1, 2, 3, 4, but only 3 for 2, 4, 6, 8 be a factor in which one to pursue? I would say it's more about what is on the table, because with 1, 2, 3, 4, there's one player who may need those 4 cracks, but also there are 8 cracks already out. Either way, we're going to need to probably dedicate jokers. And because 1, 2, 3, 4 is consecutive and we do have a flower, we may have a few more options with 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive run would be the better choice. Primarily in this case, because the 8 cracks are already out. So let's see here. We have a 4 dot Kong with a pung. So 4 dot Kong with a pung. 4 dot Kong with a pung of dragons. Oh, they're playing a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. I'm sorry, they're playing a year hand. They're playing a year hand. Joe is playing a year hand. So probably, well, the only hand they could be playing is the first hand under the year. 2, 4, 6. Oh my gosh, my brain is just not working right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. 2024 year hand. And then the player on our right, Wes, is playing 7-2. 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 suits. Consecutive run 7-2. So at 36 tiles remaining, we've got 4 discards that it appears nobody wants. We probably should switch to defense. Okay, let's get a joker. And then let's let the 5 dot. Okay, 6 bam. We just threw that. Okay. All right, now here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And the hand we would play for 1, 2, 3, 4 with the dragon would require 2 pair. 1, 2 crack, 3 crack pung, 4 crack pung, Kong red. Because we don't have pairs yet with 1 and 2, I would give up on that hand. There's already a 1 crack out. There are 2 1 cracks out. So I would just let that go completely and focus on probably the 3rd hand down in 1 suit or the 2nd hand from the bottom. So we're going to ignore that. Okay. So it's interesting, though, how many jokers we ended up with. And we didn't draw a single tile in our suit. So that was kind of unusual. Let's do this again and see if we have a good, a better draw. You've still got to be able to draw your tiles. And that's where the luck of the game is. So we have more cracks than we do anything else. So we're going to hold on to cracks. And we're going to break up that dragon. And again, if you're just joining us, we're playing with a specific method, a jumpstart method is what I call it, to help with reducing that feeling of being overwhelmed with the game by playing only 1 suit with or without the corresponding dragon. So otherwise, I would be targeting that dragon and I would leverage that multiple, but we're showing this method specifically for a purpose. So just in case you're just joining us and maybe you're a little confused, because I typically don't play this way. So it is just a new method to help people who are overwhelmed with the game. So we're looking for cracks. We're just going to hold every one of them that we get. And we're going to mitigate the risk as best we can with our passes. Okay, we didn't get any cracks. So let's do a 2 with that 9. There's a crack. This almost looks like the last hand we played. Let's pass a 2. Let's see. Let's do 2 with a 5. Okay, there's a crack. We're going to do East 2, 6. No crack here. Let's pass a 9 with a dragon here. There's a crack. And we have 3 tiles to pass. You can see it really makes passing fairly easy, or relatively easy, I should say. 8. We got another crack. Okay, we have 2 discards and all cracks with a pair of flowers. So I would not pick a hand yet. I would just continue to gather. But we do have a hand in here 2 ways. 3rd hand down under consecutive run. Pair of flowers, 3 consecutive Kongs. We have 7, 8, 9 with 2 multiples, and we have 1, 2, 3 with 1 multiple. So if I were to have to pick a hand, I would play 7, 8, 9. So let's just see how this goes. So call what? Okay, now there's a joker up for grabs. 2 bet. 2 bet. There's a 7. We can't call anything yet. We still need bigger multiples in here, or jokers. There's 1 now. So I would play 7, 8, 9 flower, and I would let these little tiles go. The 3 crack we can hold on to, and maybe we could get a joker out of that. If we hold it for a little while, wait for people to develop their hand, and we discard 1, maybe they make an exposure with a joker, and then we can do an exchange and get the joker in our hand. Right now, we have our pair, 3rd hand down under consecutive run. We could Kong the 8, and that's it for now. We have 2 pair for the other Kongs. So we're looking really good for this hand. We don't need a 7. Now there's a joker 2 up for grabs, 2 exposures out. Okay, there's another multiple now, 2, but we have a pung in here, so that weighs heavier than pairs. So I would just break these up and focus on the run with a big multiple, pung. We have pair, pung, pair versus single pair, pair. So 7, 8, 9 is better. You can't keep it all. That's a pair for us, so we're okay there. Here's a joker exchange. So now we could Kong one of these, either the 7 or the 9 now. So we're going to let go of the 2 or 3. I like to let go of year tiles first, especially with someone who has a white dragon exposure. Okay, now this is our other joker bait. That's where you hold a pair you don't need. Let's see if anyone takes it. No. So these are all going to be safe discards. Oh, I probably should have let the 2-4 go. Those are year tiles. Oh, there's a flower. Since we're early in the game and there's only one flower, I'm thinking we could call that, or not call it, exchange it and get a joker. We have a pair in hand. Let's do it. It's a little bit risky because we still don't know where the other flowers are. This player on the left will not need flowers with their hand. They're probably doing either 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, second hand from the bottom on the right, or they're doing big odds, 5, 7, 7, 9. My guess is they're doing consecutive run because there are 2 9 bams out and there's a 7 dot out. So I think they're doing consecutive run, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could be doing 5, 6, 7, 8 too. All right, so now here we go. So I risked a little bit there by taking that joker. We broke up our pair to get that joker. But with flowers, it's kind of a different tactic because by taking that flower, we remove the opportunity from our opponents to get that joker. So that is one reason to do the exchange, but it does put you at risk because we still need a pair. The other option we would have would be to, let's say, we could Kong the 8 and the 9. Kong the 8 and the 9. We'd have to use a joker for the 9, but we could Kong those. If we don't get a flower, we could then maybe switch to 6, 7, 8, 9 second hand from the bottom and use the joker as a 6. So we have to keep an eye on flowers. Let's let the go. Oh, there's a joker right here. We could have done an exchange. We'll do it now. Here we go. All right. So now let's see here. All right. Let's let the year title go. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Now let's Kong. And I would probably play 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we don't really have to make a choice, but we're in between this third hand down and the second hand from the bottom in one suit because we have enough jokers to call for a 6 crack. And we wouldn't even need a flower. And there's a 6 crack. I would switch to that second hand from the bottom and let the flower go. Because that was a vulnerability there. Here we could pung, pung, kong, kong now with everything we have. Okay, with a 4 bam, that's a year tile. Okay. Okay, so they're playing a wind hand there, north, probably north and south with something because there's all the wests are down. So they're probably doing north and south. 3, 4, 1, 6, 5. Okay, let's pung. So now we're ready to win on a 7 crack or an 8 crack. I call that a double weight, and it is a strong way to end the game. That's not to say that there's someone else ready to win at the table. We don't know that, but we're in a good position now. Oh, there's the flower. Oh my gosh, another flower. Okay, Joker exchange for Mahjong. We got Mahjong. That was an interesting one and a little bit complex because of the flower situation. And let's see, to our right, they're playing the all dragon hand, 4 flowers. To the left, they're playing 5, 6, 7, 8. They have a dragon they needed to let go of, but they were set. They could pung the 6. Oh, yeah, and they could Kong the 7. They were playing the same hand in 2 suits. And then across from us, north and south with 1, 2. So we were the front runner here at the table. Okay, let's play again. All right, here we go. We're playing BAMs. So let's break up the dragon since we're focused on just one suit. One suit. We're going to do this. We'll switch to the whole card. Let's do, if it's okay with you, I think we'll play one more hand focused on one suit, and then we'll open it up to the full card. Because it does make me a little bit uncomfortable. This is a great solution for temporary use. So you want to do one more hand in one suit and then open it up to the rest of the card? Let's see. Let's pass 2 dragon with a 7. I know I said the last two games, I kind of want to switch just because it's so much better to play throughout the card, mixed suits, one suit. So you do need to get used to that eventually. This is just a temporary solution, a temporary measure. It's not the way to play the game completely. So now we have all BAMs. So now is when we make choices. We have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. A pung of 1s. No 3, no 7. So I'd let the 9 go and focus on 1 through 5 probably. No keepers. That's okay to pass. There's a 5. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 4, 5. So I'd probably let those bigger, the 8 go. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Probably even let the 6 go and pass maybe 5, 6 like that. Okay, we got a Kong of 1s in there. Here's a 9. All right, well, let's just see how it goes. I wouldn't pick a hand yet. We're just going to see how this develops. So one BAM Kong, 4, 5 pairs. We may need to let a 1 BAM go. We could maybe try for the first hand under consecutive run. Oh, there's a dragon. We could maybe use that. I would probably let that 9 BAM go. There's a joker. Let's let the year tile go. Here's a 7. We now have 1, 5, 7, 9. If we play the first odd hand, we need a pair of 3s. Let's just see what happens. We don't have to pick a hand yet. Don't need that. Oh, pair green. Okay, now we have all keepers. We have to make some choices now. Without a 3 BAM, the 7 and the 9, actually, we do have a hand in here with no gaps. 5, 7, 9 dragon. Let's let one of the 1 BAMs go. Without a 3 BAM, these littler numbers are not useful. We do have a hand with no gaps. 5 BAM, 7 BAM, 9 BAM, green dragon. 5, 7, 9 dragon. Let's just see what happens. Now that we would need to Kong, and we don't have the tiles for it. Now we have a 9 BAM. So I would start letting probably the 2, 4 go. and focus on 579 dragon. Third hand down under odds.
7 5.
If we get a 3 bam, we could maybe play the first hand.
7 5.
That we would need to pung. That's the third hand down under odds. There's a joker up for grabs there. That would be a nice tile in our hand. We can't do anything about it. Let it go. No hesitation there. Just stay focused. That's another one. So that could make me change my mind on what we keep here. I would pull that 4 back because there are 2 7 bams out and there's a 9 bam. So we might be able to switch if we get a 6 bam to maybe that 5th hand down under consecutive run. Let's just hold off on making any decision yet. There's a 5. So for the odd hand, we only need a pair. Pair flower, pair 5, pung 7, kong 9. So I would give up on the big odd hand at this point, and I would focus on 4 5. Really, the 1 is not helpful at all. So let's just let that go at this point. That 1 without a 2 3 is not helpful. Okay, now here you might think, well, why not pung? We could pung that, but we would commit to the little or that big odd hand, third one down. This is the first green dragon. I would wait to see if we could get a 6 bam and then maybe use jokers. Even though we have a hand with no gaps, we're weak because there are 2 7 bams out and we need to pung. And we also need a pair of flowers and there are 2 out. So I think I would wait. Now, if it goes down again, I would reconsider.
9 5. 6 5. 2 5. 6 8.
Or if we get a joker. Now there's the third 6 bam. Here's a joker. So now I would reconsider 5 7 9 dragon.
6 8.
Now, especially that the 6 bams are out. A 3 bam is out. So our option tiles are going down.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's 1 more 7 bam. We need a joker for the 9 and we have an extra 5. So we're back down to the third hand under odds and we're concealed. So we have total flexibility. That's a pair for us. Eight bam. Really, that 8 bam is not helpful because the 6s are all down. With a pair of dragons, we would need the 6 bam. So I would not be distracted by that. So you got to look at what has been discarded as far as whether or not to keep a tile. You've got to keep an eye on your discards. Okay, we need to let the 4 bam go. I don't know why I'm waiting on that. Oh, there it is, 4 bam. Nobody wanted it. And the 8 bam, there's 2 out. Oh, look, we got our flower. Okay, so it's looking better. We're still probably an underdog because we're gonna need jokers. We're gonna need at least 1 joker for the 9 bam. There's a joker. Let's see, 4 crack. I don't see it. 4 bam. Oh my goodness. At least it's a safe discard. 5 dot is out. These are both safe tiles. Okay, we're going to pung. We have an extra tile here. We only need a pair. Oh, they got it. So we ended up with 2 discards, which is not bad. I think we were an underdog at the table. We were probably in the same position as Joe. They needed more tiles. They have 1 discard. We were an underdog. All right, let's try again. Let's see, it's 206. We'll do 1 more focused on 1 suit, and then we're going to open it up to the whole card. So 1 suit with or without dragons, we have a pair of 5 cracks and a 2, so that's where I would start. 5 crack 2. Let's pass the west with a 1 and a 7. Maybe we could, yeah, because now we're left here with a 1, 2, 5, or south can go. Okay, so let's say 2, 5 with a south. There's a crack. We're going to hold it no matter what number it is. We're just going to grab it. So we'll pass the wind there. Okay, so now we're going to keep going. Now we have 2, 5 or 2, 3, 5 in bams. We have 2, 5, 8 in cracks, but there's a pair with the cracks. That's where we're going to focus with the pair. So we're going to pass, let's say 2, 2, 5 south. There's a dragon. We'll keep that because it corresponds. Let's do 3, 5, 8. Here's a 3. We can keep that. And we've got tiles we can pass. A 2 with a 9, useless. So that's a good pass. There's a keeper, maybe 7. Okay, now let's pass 3. Now this is a little bit risky here. We have 2, 3 crack with a 5 pair, then a 7, 8. We do have a hand in here with no gaps. Addition, second hand down. 7 crack, 5 crack, 2 crack with flowers. We could maybe make this pass a little bit better by letting the dragon go, which is really not useful with number tiles and flowers in 1 suit. Okay, so now there's an 8. So we have 3 discards before we have to pick a hand. We're just going to keep gathering. We have 3 flowers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. They really don't gel. We're not going to be able to use them all, but we have some things to work with here. We're just going to gather. Okay, there's an exposure with a joker up for grabs. Now here, we could Kong. We could even quint. No, Kong. We could Kong, but I wouldn't because we don't know what hand we're playing. Just because you can call a tile doesn't mean you should. So just wait until you know what hand you're playing. If we pick a hand right now, I would play that addition hand and we only need a pair. So I would just let that go. Ooh, there's a pair there. 8 bam. We're looking for preferably cracks. Oh, someone used that dragon. Joker. Okay, let's let the 5 go. I'm thinking we could maybe let the 8s go and focus on that addition hand. 7, 5, 2. We have a pair of flowers. Let's just see what happens here. Maybe keep the 8 though, because if we get, let's say, a 6 or a 9, we could maybe play that 3rd hand down. Okay, here we have to make a choice. I would Kong because we have a hand with no gaps and we have our pair. So let's Kong. So then this 8 will go. That's our Kong tile, but we can't take it. We just need to be patient. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna swim upstream now. That's all right. We can use jokers. This is a hand of slight resistance. So we could use jokers, or we could even switch our hand. We have a Kong of fives. Let's just keep that 4 and see what happens. Maybe we can get a 3 or a 6 and play Kongs. Third hand down. Oh, we got a 2. Isn't that nice? All right, so we're gonna need jokers here. We're gonna need at least 3 jokers, so we wanna keep our eyes open for, oh, look. Okay, now this is where we're gonna need to make a choice here. We've got a 5 crack and then consecutive tiles here. I would be more likely to switch to consecutive run because the 2 cracks are discarded. We would need 2 jokers there. There are no 4 cracks out, no 6 cracks are out, and 1 7 crack is out. If we switch to 4, 5, 6 Kongs, third hand down, we wouldn't be hindered by the need of jokers. Because right now we're going to need jokers if we play addition. So let's just see how the hand develops. We still have discards, so we don't have to pick a hand yet. We got our joker back. So that'll help. We can't call anything yet. That can go. And there goes another 7. So that would mean we would need 4 jokers. Now here's our other tile. We need to Kong that, and we're not ready. Let's let this flower go. That's going to be risky. Oh, there's an interesting development. We can get that joker and play 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me see. No, we would have to play 3, 4, 5, 6, but we have no 3. We could get that joker unless somebody else grabs it. Let's see. Let's see. I think we should take it. There's 1 flower out. So now we have another joker to work with. So we could maybe still play, oh my goodness, this has been a little bit painful. 4, 5, 6 in cracks, or the addition hand now that we have 2 jokers. Let's just play it out. Oh, that would have been a nice tile for us. 3 dot. We keep getting, it would be nice to get a red dragon. There it is. We have that. Okay, so let's say if we play addition, there's still 1 more 7 crack, I believe. Let's see, 7 crack, 7 crack. The 2 cracks are out, so we would need a joker there. Either way, let's see, or we could maybe do, well, let's just wait. We could take it pick by pick and discard by discard. I'm thinking maybe addition, because at least we have a multiple in there. Unless we draw a multiple, like a 4 crack or 6 crack, there's a 4 crack. So because the 7s and the 2s are out, I would play 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, and we're actually set. We could Kong the 6, Kong the 4, and be ready on a flower, which would be really risky at this point, but let's see what happens. That addition hand was doomed. Okay, now that red dragon is still available. Oh, someone got there, but we were close. And that hand kind of straddled from consecutive run to addition for a while, but I think we held our own there. Let's see. I think we were a contender even with our struggle, because the player to our right has 2 discards. We have 2 discards. We were both probably underdogs, actually. The player on our left was another front runner there. All right, so I think we should now open it up to the whole card. So this is now how you play. Let's say that you have gained confidence developing a hand in one suit, with or without flowers and dragons, and you feel like now you can open it up to the whole card. The ideal way to play American Mah Jongg is to target multiples and then play a category that will use most of your tiles in support of that multiple. That is the ideal way to play the game. So in this case, we have an 8 crack pair. So whatever we play, we're going to use the 8 crack. So we look at the rest of our tiles and keep tiles that can be used with that 8 crack. So we could maybe play something consecutive, but we could also maybe play something in evens, 2, 4, 6, 8. We have no 6, that's a gap. So I would be mindful of that. So let's see if we let the 3 go with a west, 1, 3 west. We've got 5s here. So that's going to be risky. But if we were to play something consecutive, we could do 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Usually I think about holding tiles 4 numbers in a range around the multiple. So that would be 5, 6, 7, 8. And that 5 is in that range, even though we have no 6. Okay, now there's a 6 and an 8. So I probably would focus on 2, 4, 6, 8 because that would be the predominant pattern. So let's see. Let's let the 5 bam go and then the dragon. We have either 2, 4, 6, 8 or 5, 6, 7, 8 of some kind. There's a 7. 7, 8. 7, 8. Let's see. The south can go. The dragon can go. So now we have 2, 4 crack, 6, 8, 8 dot or 8 crack there. And then we have a 7 dot pair, 7 dot 8 crack. We should play consecutive run. So let's let the 2 go. Okay, let me turn that off. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Let's pass. So then we have, here's a 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a bit of a long range. So let's see, we have 7, 8 and a 4, all pairs. We let the 2 go. So 2, 4, 6, 8 would be a gap hand. We don't want to play a gap hand. So I would probably pass the 4 with a 5 and let those little numbers go and focus on 5 through 8. Okay, so there's a 5 and now a 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a hand in there now with no gaps using 2 multiples. Second hand from the bottom under consecutive run, and it happens to be 1 suit. But we also could do 5, 6 crack, 7, 8 dot, the other hand right in that same one. But we've got like numbers with 3s, and I would not pass that. So I would pick a hand. This is when you pick a hand. I'd probably, let's see here, 5, 6 crack, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'd probably let the 8 dot go because then we're passing 1 of each suit. All right, so we have 5, 6, 7, 8 in cracks. Here's 6, 7. We have 3, 9. Maybe I would pass the 6. 3, 6, 9. That's a bit risky, but we have a hand with no gaps, so I'd be willing to take the risk. There's a 9. Now we could maybe play the first hand under consecutive run, and I would pass fully here. We've got a 4 back, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8 crack pair, though, drives the hand up to bigger numbers, so I would let that go. So we have 3 discards with joker bait and a hand, 2 hands with no gaps. We could play the first hand under consecutive run or the second hand from the bottom in 1 suit. Let's let we could even maybe use that dragon for the second hand down. Let's let the 4 go. So let's just gather until one of our tiles goes down. A flower, well, we might be able to. We wouldn't be able to use it with both of our multiples, though. We would have to do either 5, 6, 7 or 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9 and let it go. We'll see.
8 dots,
A 2, the only way we can use that is if we played addition. 7 crack, 5 crack, 2 crack. I think I would probably focus on the number tiles and let the dragon go, especially because we have a pung of white dragons there. And I would also probably let the flower go. There's a red dragon out already. We have 5, 6, 7, 8 dragon. We would need to Kong for the 5th hand down. I think I would let the flower go. I would probably let the 2 crack go. And I would keep this dragon just for a little while, even though we would need a joker. We have pairs, 5 crack 8, so we could pung the 6 and the 7 and then use maybe a joker to help us with the dragon for that 2nd hand down. I'm sorry, that's not right. It would be the 5th hand down, pair, 5 crack 6. The 7, 8 would be pungs. So let's just wait and see. Okay, now here, this is where we need to make a choice. So if we played the 1st hand, that 6 would be a pair. Our 9 crack is weak. We have 1, and our 7 is also weak. We need to Kong that. So I would not play that 1st hand. If we play the 2nd hand down, we could pung. And if we play the pung kong hand, we would also be able to pung. If we played the 5th hand down, we would need that as our pair. Since this is the first 6 and we only need to pung for 2 of those 3 hands, I would probably let it go because we would have to use a joker. So let's let it go and see if another one goes down, or if we can maybe draw it so that we don't have to use one of our jokers.
2, 9,
Because we're just not strong enough. I would probably let that 9 go at this point. So if we're playing 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, pair, pung, Kong. We would need a 6 crack pair. We could pung this. We could pung the 8. We can't do anything with the red and 1 is out. Or we could play pung, Kong, and let the dragon go. That would mean we'd need to Kong the 8. But we would play a hand of least resistance and use jokers throughout. So here we would need to Kong. We could still maybe play the 1st hand. So I think we should go ahead and Kong at this point. Let's Kong.
Kong,
That was kind of a tough choice.
red, 5,
So we're going to play 5, 6, 7, 8. So here we could pung.
Kong,
And we're playing a hand of least resistance, so we can use jokers for our 6 and 8 if we need to.
6, 9,
So now this 9 can go, and the 7 will hold as joker bait.
6, crack,
That's our tile. We're not ready,
5,
but we can use jokers.
6, 8, 1 dot, green,
This was another tough one. We have a hand with no gaps, so I would push for it. Oh, we already have that. I'm hoping we'll get our 7 crack. Oh, 9 crack. It's already out. Okay, we're at 63 tiles. We're in the middle of the game. Let's see if somebody wants this 7 dot. No. Darn it. Okay. Oh, no, we don't want to flower. Right now there's 3 jokers up for grabs. Oh, there's a joker. That's nice. So we could pung or kong, but not both. And people will know what hand we're playing just by the exposures we currently have. So making another exposure is not a big deal. The only risk is that we would be using a joker, and that could help somebody else.
Green. 2. 6. 8.
Okay, we're going into the end game after this pick.
5. Joker start. 4.
So someone got our joker here. Four bam can go. Looks like nobody wants 4 dot. The 8 dot is out right here, so there are 2 out. That should be safe in the end game. Oh, there we go. We got a joker there. So now we're set. We could pung end kong. That's the beauty of playing a hand of least resistance. So we'll pung. And of course, everyone knows what we need, but that's okay. We'll put them on the defense. So they would have to decide if they draw an 8 crack, are they going to be willing to discard it? We could also pick a joker or maybe the 8 crack. This tile's not out yet. There's, oh darn, someone won. But we were ready to win. Somebody held it over here. They're playing a year hand on the left and they had our 8 crack. But we had a pretty good chance there. All right, let's play again. All right, now we have 4 crack pair, 6 crack pair, and a 9 bam pair. This is an interesting one. We do have some potential for evens, but we also have 8, 9 in here. I think what I would do, the 2, 4, 6, 8 is pretty weak. I think what I would do is keep all the multiples. 4, 6, 8. We've got all the 9s. Let's see here. 5. Let's let the 5 dot go with a 9 crack. Let's just see what happens. We've got 2 9s, pair 9 there, and a 4, 6 in cracks with an 8. No 2. So we're closer to a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand, but that has a gap. And the 2 bam without an 8 bam is not helpful because there is that second hand from the bottom on the right, 2, 8. 2, 8. That would require us to pass like numbers. 2, 8 in one suit with 4, 6 in the middle. We could use the joker for the missing 8, but I think I would rather not pass like numbers in the first pass and just take my chances at getting a 2 later. Okay, so we have tiles we can pass. All right, now there's an 8 dot, and we have tiles we can pass. Now here, though, we have 6, 7, 8 with 9s. I would say, let's see here. 6 crack, 7, 8 with pungs of 9s. That would be the quint hand. Third hand from the bottom. We actually have no gaps for that. We have a 4 crack to pass. So let's see here. This is another challenging hand. We have no 2 for 2, 4, 6, 8 in one suit. So I would not focus on that. And I would not pass two 4s either. Let's see. We have 6, 7, 8. Here's an 8, 9. What if we do 8 and with a 4, and we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. So we would have the chow hand and let the 6 go. So we'd be breaking up 2 pair, keeping 1, but we have a chow in hand. That is equivalent to 3, a block of 3, which is It's significant, but I think I would do it. Let's see what we get here. So no keepers. We're going to keep going. We'll do one of each suit there. There's a keeper, and we have tiles we can pass. Okay, so here's 5, 6, 7 now. 5, 6, 7. We have a pung of nines though. I would let that go, but you know what I would also do is keep the 6, 9, because we do have 3, 6, 9 in here. No 3, but it's an option. We did get a 3. So there's 3, 6 in cracks, 6, 9 in dots, 6, 9 in bams. Or we have 6, 7, 8 with nines. I think what I would do is probably pass fully and play this hand we have no gaps for. 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. Third hand from the bottom under consecutive run. Okay, we have 4 discards in a hand with no gaps. This will be interesting. We need flowers. And there goes a flower. Oh my gosh, really? Oh, we got one. Nice. Oh my gosh, but boy, the minute I said flowers, there they go. Okay, we need more. We need more flowers. We could pung the 9 dot though, and we have our chow.
6 dots.
Okay, let's let the 4 go. Oh my goodness. Flowers. Come on now. I'm hoping we'll draw the 9 dot. Okay, here's 5, 6. No. There's a joker for grabs over there. Pure Kong. There's a joker up for grabs. We do not need a white dragon. Okay, so someone got the north. Well, we don't need a dragon. We're good there. Okay, north, pung north with a 1. So they're going to need 2s. With a pung of norths and a Kong of 1s, they're playing the 3rd hand down. So they need either a 2 bam or a 2 crack. There's a 2 crack out. So my guess is they're going to need a 2 bam, which doesn't impact us at all. Okay, so we don't need. Okay. 3 bam. I'm still keeping an eye on 3, 6, 9 in here because at the moment we do have potential for the second hand down. Pair of flowers, 3, 6 bam, 9 pung with either 3 6s or 9s, and we actually have a 6 bam. I'm sorry, a 6 crack, but we have no 6 dot. That's a gap. But I am just keeping my eye on it. There's a 3 bam now. 3, 6, 9. Let's let the 6 crack go, I think. Let's see. Yes. Oh, okay. Now here's an interesting development. We have 3, 6, 9 in bams, pair, single, pung, pair flowers. We could use that joker exchange opportunity and switch to 3, 6, 9 in 1 suit under 3, 6, 9. And we could Kong here, and I would, because our 9 dot, although we have that is for a hand with no gaps. We need a quint of flowers, and there are already 2 out, 3 are out, and we have 2. So there's only 3 more left. I would give up on the quint hand and call, do the joker exchange, and switch to 3, 6, 9 in one suit with a pair of flowers. And then I would let these go. And I would let the 9 dot go first because of this 8 dot over here.
No.
There, right there. They had our 9. And here goes another flower.
Joker slide, 5, 3.
Okay, joker exchange. Now let's let this 8 crack go. Okay, 8 crack. There it is over here to the left. There's a joker up for grabs. 4 crack, 4 crack. Nobody wants that. I would probably let this 7 go. Okay, that was quick. That was the 8 crack joker swap. There's still 1 more joker for grabs. We are ready to Kong both tiles, 3 or 9. We need Kongs 3, 6, 9. Third hand down under 3, 6, 9.
6.
Okay, they need that ahead of us here. But north, 1, 2, I think I'm going to risk it. We're still in the middle game. My hope is they'll pung and not mahjong, but we'll see. This could be risky. Thankfully, they weren't ready. We're going to call and Kong. Oh, somebody else was ready to win on our tile. That's a bummer. That's all right. Okay, so 6 band. We got really close on that. And that game was, we were straddling on that too, which is fine to do. We were in between consecutive run quint, but the flowers went down. And then we switched to 3, 6, 9, which we got really close with that switch in just a couple of picks with the help of a joker exchange. Wow, there's a ready on a pure hand over here to the left, but they're ready to win on a 2 band, and it's over here with Joe. So they were in each other's business there. Okay, let's play again. Hopefully we'll get to play at least 1 more. All right, so we have flower, east, west, green dragon, 3, 5, 7 in bams, 1 crack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 in dots. This is what I call a widespread. We have really no clear strength. However, you could look for like numbers to help you identify the predominant pattern. We have 2 3s and 2 1s. We even have a 5, so we could play little odds, but we could also play 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would let the big numbers go, and probably, let's see, we have east and west. You can use east and west together. I think I would let the dragon go and see if we can do either little odds, 1, 2, 3, 4 of some kind, maybe something with east and west. If it comes in, there's that. Okay, now we have a pair of 3s. So I would reassess and I would think, okay, what can I do with a pair of 3s and a west pair, east, west, east and west with mixed suit Kongs. So we can use the 4 dot. We could maybe do, let's see here. Here's another 3, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4 of some kind. I think that's where I would stop, and I would try to play something with the west and the 3. So then we could do those for our pass. Okay, now we have an east. So I would focus on east and west with Kongs or a wind hand. So east and west with Kongs, we would need either the 2 or the 4. So we could do 1, let's say 9 with a 3. It's going to be risky no matter how you slice that. Okay, so there's our Kong tiles now. 2, 3. So let's keep going. 7, 4, 8, not bad, I guess. I would keep the wind for a little bit to see if maybe a south comes in. We might be able to switch to the fourth hand down under winds. There's another north. And we do have another 3. We could maybe consider the concealed hand, but I think we have enough options. And we have a pair here, 2-3 with east and west. We could pung east and west. Even if we play the wind hand, fourth one down, we could pung east and west. So I think I would just pass 2.
Cody,
We have 2 tiles to pass.
flat,
Okay, so we have 2 discards and 2 hands, 1 with a gap. We have no south for the fourth hand down, but we have no gaps for the third hand down on the right.
4,
So let's just see what happens here.
7, 8, flower,
Flowers are going down again. Oh my gosh. And there goes the south too. So I would probably focus on east and west with the Kongs.
so
Third hand down under consecutive
7,
red. There's a couple jokers up for grabs.
3, 3 cut,
No. Let's see here. We do have 3, 6, 9 kind of peeking in here. The south is down. I think I would still focus there because we do have multiples with our north. Okay, so someone got a joker. Oh my gosh, Kong Kong. Okay, Kongs, 2 Kong. Oh, they're playing news. News with dragons. I do not want to hold on to that north because they need single. We need to let these norths go right away because they need the single news. And I doubt they're ready with news already. I would be surprised if they're ready to win. So we're gonna nip that. We're gonna nip it hard here. Oh, they're playing. I thought they were doing dragons with news, but they're doing like numbers in 3, 6, 9. Either way, we don't need it. We don't need north. Plus, we got our 2 dot. So they need a 9 crack, and they're going to need a joker minimum 2 because there are 2 9 cracks out. Okay, so nobody's playing news. Okay, we got 3, 4 pung pung. So they're doing a pung pung kong kong hand. 3, 4. Now they could be doing the dragon hand, but the white dragons are out. So I think they're doing pung pung kong kong. Okay, 9 dot is a good safe tile. We're at 71 tiles. We need to optimize for joker exchange. I would let that go. And we also probably should throw that that flower. Oh, here we could pung. All right. We need a 3 bam in here. We could call that. We're looking for a 3 bam. There are 2 jokers up for grabs. So let's see if we can draw those. Okay, so they need 5 dot. Pung pung kong kong over there. And there are no 5 dots out. Joker. We're ready to Kong. We got a keeper. Ready on a double weight, 2 dot or 3 bam. And we reallocate the joker. Mahjong. We got it. And that was tight. Let's see. Agata had one discard across from us, one discard. They had that five dot risky tile. To our right, they're ready to win on a joker. They need a joker for their 9 crack. Okay, we can squeeze in one more. We're going to squeeze in one more. Look, we have an east-west again and a 7 dot. So I would hold for east and west with 7s. We also have a 3 here, 3 dot pair. You know what we could do? We could play a quint. We could play that second quint. We don't have the right tiles to go with these 4 east and west with Kongs. Let's see here. Let's break up the 8. There's a west. Let's see. We need offsuit tiles for east and west. We still don't have them. We need like ideally a 6 or an 8 in a different suit. 6 or 8 in a different suit is what we want here. No. I would not be distracted by that south. I would play either the quint or east and west with Kongs. Okay, now we still did not get a 6 or an 8 in a different suit. No. Oh, look, we got the 7. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, someone's doing a quint of flowers at the get-go. Holy crap, that's crazy. Okay, here we go. There's a 2. So now we could do 2, 3, but I would rather play the quint. All right, let's just see what happens here. Eight dot, so they're playing 6, 7, 8, 8. 6, 7, oh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Let's see how that goes. Okay, now let's see here. Let's let the 9 go. So if they're doing 8, 8, they're going to have an 8 for east and west with 8s, or 7, 8. If we can get a 6 in here, we might switch to east and west with 6, 8, 6, 7. But we could still maybe play the quint with that 3. Here's a 6. All right, now let's see what happens. We really just need one good pick for that 6 bam, but now look, we have 2, 2. But the 7 dot Kong is stronger than 2 pair. I would let the 2 go. We wouldn't be able to act on those.
7, 4, Mahjong.
Oh, he got it. 5, 7, 9. I think we could squeeze in another one, actually. That was a really quick win. They probably started with freaking 4 flowers. Excuse my French. Stinking robots. Oh, look, we've got 3 flowers. All right, and here's 2s. So there's a pair of 2s. We could do 1, 2, 3. I would just keep all consecutive tiles. 1, 2, 3. That was a really fast game. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Looking at the 2s with 3 flowers here and 2s. We could maybe try for. I'm trying to think about these 3 flowers. I would leverage them. Okay, let's pass 5, 6, 7. Actually, you know what? We need to kind of break that up a little bit so we have a decent tiles to pass there. Okay, now we have north 6, 7. Let's focus on number tiles. We're looking at the 2 dot. That's really the driver right now. Here's a 2 bam. Now with flowers, we really don't need that dragon, so I would let it go. Now that we have 2 2s, I would probably hold any wins that we get. for news. Here's a 1 though. We have a 1, 2 pair now. We're going to keep going. Okay, now Joe stopped the Charleston, so we're not going to pass with him. No. Okay, so we discard. So we could do 1, 2, 3 with a pair of flowers, 1 suit Kong, third hand down, or we could do like numbers with 2s and news. At the moment, we really don't need 3 flowers. We have an extra flower basically. But the way these robots play, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Kong of flowers with jokers. Maybe not though. Now we have half of news. I think that 3 crack can go. We don't need 8 bam. No, don't need 5. Oh, joker up for grabs. No. Okay. 9 bam. Nobody wanted the 3 crack. Okay. So we really could only call for one thing right now, and that would be a 2 Kong. Well, nobody's playing a year hand. There's half of news. Oh, we're almost there with news. I would probably play like numbers with 2s and use the 1 as joker bait. Kong the 2 and play news with 2s. So that would be the third hand under any like numbers. Now, if we draw a 3 dot, I might change that to 1, 2, 3 Kongs. But either way, we can only act on one exposure. Oh, now this changes things. There's a joker up for grabs there. We could switch to 1, 2, 3, get that joker, and let news with 2s go. And especially now because there goes a 2 bam. So I would do it. So now I would let wins go. Okay, so we're going to expedite that wind right there too. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Oh, they were ready again already? Oh my goodness. We could probably do another one with these quick wins going on. What is up with that? That's just, it feels like there's an unfair advantage. It's not good. All right, we've got pairs of tiles that don't gel except for 1 hand, and that would be a quint. Random quint. Yeah, these robots are shady. All right, so we have 1s, like numbers with 1s and news, maybe. This is a little bit risky here. Maybe we can do 2, 8 dragon. We do have 1s though. We could do like numbers with 1s and dragons. Oh my gosh, look what came in. All right, let's pass the north with a 5. We don't have a 1 dot. Okay, so we have a 1 crack pung, no 1 dot. We have all 3 dragons. So we need a tile to pass. Without a 1 dot, I would let the white dragon go because we need pairs for the second hand down under like numbers. There's the 1 dot. Oh, maybe we'll get that dragon back. We could also switch to all 1s. We don't need these at all. We got a 1 bam. So I would switch to flowers with dragons and 1s. And that way we don't have to worry about that white dragon. Okay, we have 3 tiles we can pass. And we need flowers. But we're ready to pung and kong here.
8,
Somebody kept the white dragon. Okay, 8 crack. Really, this dragon should go. Okay. Okay, good thing we let the dragons go. Oh my goodness, I should be letting go of these year tiles. I don't like to hold on to year tiles, especially because somebody kept that white dragon. We're going to let that other 2 go. All right. So 2's going down hard. Okay, now there's Joker bait. 3 crack pair. We don't need that. There's some little odd in here, but we have the wrong. It's not gelling. We have no 3 band. That would be for the second hand down under odds. Okay, pure Kong to the left. So with a pure Kong and a dragon, pure Kong and a pung of dragons, they're doing third hand down under odds with a pair of flowers, 3 band pung. They may take this. They're going to need a pair of 1 bam, so they're not going to be able to make their hand because we have it. That's the only hand that could be, I think. We've got them blocked. And we may even be able to disqualify them if we Kong. There's a keeper. Yeah, I would love to get a 1 dot or a flower in here.
8 dots.
We need redemption. We need this to be a redemption game. Oh, here we go. Let's see who kept that white dragon. There it is. Joe. All right, come on now. Okay, there's a couple jokers up for grabs. Some would call that retail therapy. Okay, we need a keeper. We got one. Okay, we're set now. Ready to pung and kong at will. And I would. Thank you. Okay, it's not a done deal. We're going into the end game now. There we go. Ready to win. Quad, no. This is not a quad weight. It's a 1, 2, triple weight. We could win with any one. Let me see here. This is making my brain hurt. Any one and a flower. Come on now. Oh. Oh. There it is. Mahjong. Woo! We got it. Oh my goodness. Redemption against these dreaded robots. All right, that's going to do it for this live stream. If you haven't played it, I Love Mahj, check it out. It's a wonderful platform with a great exercise room. So if you're new to the game or you're on a fast track to improving your game, try out their exercise room. Yes, thank you. Oh, redemption. Yes. All right. So sorry for my thought process. I'm a little bit distracted today because of all this. You see that? Let's see. Here's a big one up here. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, this one is actually healing there. But under here, poison ivy all through there. Oh my gosh, it's agonizing. You're welcome. Mahjong is a wonderful distraction. That was a good one. Thank you for being here. And we'll be back for another 2-hour Let's Play live stream on a more advanced topic. And we're going to talk about profiling players. Profiling players. It is an advanced topic. If you play competitively, if we have maybe intermediate players who are thinking about playing in tournaments, you might come back because we're going to talk about how to read your opponents. It's a really great skill to build. And all this concept comes from poker psychology. So I hope that you'll come back and I'll share what I've learned. I know, I'm very itchy. Oh my gosh, it's agonizing, seriously. We've been in agony since, oh my gosh. I guess, when did it start? I don't even know. Oh my gosh, I'm just very distracted and very itchy and scratchy. Itchy and scratchy. That's what we need to call each other right now, itchy and scratchy. You're welcome. It was a pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos and for sharing about my channel. Does anybody have any questions? Oh. All right, I'll go ahead and sign off. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.